Welcome to part 19 of Final Fantasy. We are going to start the Citadel of Trials. There's just a mysterious guy here telling us that, yeah, we're great that we got here, but now the real challenge has begun. We can undergo the trials that will prove our courage. And indeed, this is not actually that hard. Our courage was proven upon taking on Lich. but they need actual proof. They weren't there for that. It's just that this place isn't the hardest. Now what you're going to have here is a teleporter maze. You have to enter the right teleporters. If you get a wrong one, you go all the way back to the beginning. So, if you're playing along, just do what I do. Pay attention to what I do and you'll get through with ease. If you want to do this on your own, go for it. You know, the encounters here aren't overly hard. There are a couple things that I would swear would have been hard, but don't actually give me all that much trouble. And I don't recall them ever giving me that much trouble. In fact, there was such a long gap of time between the first time I played the game and the second time I played this game that I didn't even remember about this place. I'd forgotten it completely. But there are treasures here, so you don't want to necessarily go straight to the teleporters. Ah, you guys! I remember you from Mount Gold. You were the annoying ones. There's 7 of you. And a little bit of a video glitch there. That was kind of a neat effect. If I'm talking a little weird, it's because I've had kind of a cough all day, so I'm trying to not cough. Every time I talk, I can feel that little tickle in the back of my throat as I want to cough. But I don't want to cough into a microphone, and I definitely don't want to find that and edit it. When I could instead just fight the cough, but who knows? There's still several minutes of video to go. Now watch me take this fight seriously. Oh, these are clay golems. Golems should be able to hit you hard. So I might want to cast Protect. Oh. No, they aren't actually all that tough. And she went before I could kill them all. Now gauntlets, I don't actually check to see if the gauntlets do anything or not in this video. I think they have a special power. I think you can use them in battle and they cast a spell. Because we're going to start finding items that do that. There are certain items you can have in your inventory that when used in combat will cast a spell with no MP use, or in the case of the PS2 or original version, any charge use. Any spell slot use. Whatever you want to call them. I think the gauntlets do that. I don't remember what spell, but I think they have a spell they cast. Oh, and this tile is a set encounter tile, so if you want that chest, you're going to have to fight this twice. And I'm glad I do, because the next time they'll actually hit with Snort, so you're going to see what that does. But this chest contains the item that I'm going to use to show these. See, it's called the Healing Staff. It can cast Heal. A staff that casts Heal. Use? Oh, you can't use it. Well, maybe I missed something. No, that's not it. Well, that was just me demonstrating. I'm not actually trying to figure it out. And here I'm showing it's not worth it to equip it. In fact, you can't use items when they're equipped, I don't believe. But items. it will show up as a usable item when you go to use the item. And this one casts heal. And like I said, that's free magic. And Snort casts darkness, that's all it does. It's a pretty bad ability. You know, if you can miss really easily while trying to cast a spell like darkness, it's not worth it. So yeah, those items in the original and in the PS2 version, they're actually really good and useful because, well, you only have a limited amount of spells you can cast, so getting free spells from your inventory is really good. Like, there are several items that can cast, like, the multi-target elemental spells. And if you have them in item form and can just spam them because the item stays in your inventory, it doesn't get consumed. You know, that's absolutely great. In this version, because of MP, they are less useful. But you could see an argument for their use in some cases. And in fact, one of the items in this game is still one of the best items to pick up. I'll be talking about that later. But we'll pick that up in, oh, I can't remember the name of the water dungeon, but it's the water dungeon where we get those. Well, that item, but... Now, I'm coming up on the most interesting encounter in the game. Because the tile right before the throne, because you have to sit in the throne. Oh, we get a rat's tail, that's proof of courage. It's kind of a funny thing, but the tile right in front of us, in order to step into the throne, is a set encounter tile. As I know, I don't know this for a fact, but as far as I know, this is the only set place to encounter zombie dragons. You know, you can walk back and forth and continuously encounter zombie dragons. They're not overly hard, but they have an item drop. A pretty hard to find item drop. So, I grind till that happens. I don't count it as grinding, I just don't know another word for it. Mega elixirs. Yeah. The full HP MP heal item for the entire party, of which there's only one in the standard game in a chest. So, I'll have a total of 2 by the time I finish this game, because you can sit there and get them from that zombie dragon if you need to, and that's the only place I know of you can do that. Because every other zombie dragon encounter is random as far as I know. Now, I haven't completed the new Game Boy Advance version dungeons, not DS, GBA. I haven't done the water or air bonus dungeons. I've only done the earth and fire. And I don't remember much of the chests from the earth and fire, so I don't know if there are other chests that contain mega elixirs or bosses you can beat that give you mega elixirs. But as far as doing the standard game goes, there is one chest that contains a mega elixir, unless I missed something. And then you can get them from dragon zombies. And like typical mega elixirs, they're so good they never see use because I never really need them. But I don't hoard items. You see, I hate the mentality of you hoard something that you might need. Well, if you need it, you need it. Just use it when you need it, you know? Uh-oh. I'm sensing some trouble from these guys. I didn't know they were here. I didn't know something this hard was here. And yes, this is a hard encounter. Probably the hardest encounter on the overworld map, in my opinion. There are more powerful enemies, but you can't encounter them in groups like this. Yeah. Look at how close to... Oh man, and if she wouldn't have gone, he was a goner. And he is the most heavily armored person. And they hit Sid for like 250. These guys, you've got to be careful about these guys. But I didn't need it, so I didn't use the Mega Elixir. You don't need it there. You know, I'm not advocating to just use stuff on the willy-nilly. I'm just saying, if you need something, use it. There's no point in having it if you don't use it when you need it, just to save it for a later point in time where you might need it. That's just silly, in my opinion. You know, use what you need in the moment. Don't hoard your Mega Elixirs. Except that they're an item so good that they rarely see use, because I rarely have the need to use something that powerful, but that's beside the point. Yeah, this continent's so weird, because we encountered those Berettas, and those were hard as hell, but you know, everything else here has been pretty easy. Those are like the oddballs out. Even that Allosaurus that I didn't talk about. And there are T-Rexes in this game, and they're harder than Berettas, technically. It's just, you never encounter them in groups that make them any harder, that I find, and they're such a rare encounter anyway. Like, you're not guaranteed to run into a T-Rex in a playthrough at all. Everything else you're likely to run into, but T-Rexes, they have got like a 10 or less % chance of showing up. I think it's actually around 2%. But we return down the long hallway to Bahamut, and, well, we've proven to him with this rat tail that we have the courage. He recognizes that and is willing to reward us and help us on our quest. Which I'm fine with. At least somebody said, maybe these guys aren't. Maybe we should at least test them to see if they are. You know, the Warriors of Light. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we get new updated sprites. We get a new look. And our new classes come with better stats and new bonus abilities that I will talk about later, as we're approaching the end of the video. So I'm going to show off these guys, and I will see you next time. Bye!
Hell, it's about